Which deck stain actually lasts longer? Cabot Australian Timber Oil or Sherwin-Williams SuperDeck oil-based semi-transparent? On the shelf, they both look very similar, but on your deck, there can be a big difference. Today, we're breaking down the science and real-world results in order to help you pick a winner. And yes, one of these stains does pull ahead. If you care about long-lasting finishes and smart maintenance, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I test, I break them down, and I explain products with zero fluff. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about penetration and bonding. Australian Timber Oil uses a triple oil blend. They use linseed oil for penetration, tung oil for hardness, and an elkid oil for flexibility. It deep soaks into the wood fibers and bonds itself inside the cell structure. SuperDeck oil-based semi-transparent, it also does a really nice job penetrating, especially on dry or weathered wood. But the oil blend is simpler. They mostly use a linseed oil and elkids. This can tend to leave a very thin film on the surface, especially if it's over-applied on a denser wood. I want you to think about these two stains like this. Cabot is like marinating a steak overnight. That flavor gets fully infused. SuperDeck is the glaze you apply right before it goes on to the grill. It still soaks in, but can leave a light coating on the top. Both are tasty, but it depends which one you prefer. For this category, the winner is going to be Cabot. The deeper bond means less peeling, longer wear, and easier maintenance. Let's now consider UV protection and durability. SuperDeck really starts out strong. It has a higher pigment load, and that thin surface layer, it reflects more UV light right away. Cabot's trans-oxide pigments are more finely ground and therefore they bond deeper, offering consistent fade resistance without forming a film. It fades gracefully, but it may look lighter sooner, especially when you compare it to the SuperDeck. The winner in this category, it's going to be SuperDeck. It holds color intensity longer, and it's going to give you better short-term UV protection. But if you don't mind a little fading, and you're in it for the super long haul, you might get another year or two out of the Cabot. Let's consider application and forgiveness. Cabot applies like a penetrating oil. That means that you need to make sure you wipe off any excess within 30 to 60 minutes of applying. If you don't do this, it could tack up and leave a weird film on the surface. And because of this, back brushing is absolutely critical. SuperDeck, on the other hand, is thicker and a little more forgiving. You can brush and roll it like you would a typical stain, and it will tolerate some minor over-application without tacking. Here's a quick pro tip. If you're doing a large deck or have warm weather, Cabot might dry too fast on you. SuperDeck is designed to give you a little more breathing room. So the winner in this category would be SuperDeck. It's more user-friendly, especially for DIYers and bigger projects. Let's now talk about maintenance and recoating. With the Cabot, because there's no thin layer of film, that means that there's a lot less chance of things peeling. It just simply fades away. Then you can clean and reapply, and you're done. SuperDeck, on the other hand, with its thin surface build, can flake or peel in high wear areas, especially when moisture gets underneath it. Recoat prep might include a little bit of sanding or possibly even some stripping. So the winner in this category is Cabot, with its minimal prep, no peeling, and no surprises. Let's now talk about the aesthetic finish. Cabot gives a very rich, saturated tone that really does a nice job of highlighting the wood's natural soft grain. It gives it a beautiful oiled look, which looks especially good on exotic hardwoods. SuperDeck, on the other hand, produces a more uniform color. The sheen is slightly more of a matte and can mute grain patterns on certain woods. It truly is great if you want even color across softwoods like pine or cedar. So the winner in this category, well, it's actually going to be a tie. Cabot wins on beauty for hardwoods, and SuperDeck is great for soft woods that need color consistency. So Which one of these stains should I choose? The Cabot Australian Timber Oil wins when it comes to deep penetration, easy maintenance, and natural beauty. SuperDeck Oil Semi-Transparent Stain wins when it comes to UV protection, application ease, and that short-term color retention. So if you're a DIYer who wants forgiveness and a strong first and second year result, SuperDeck is a solid choice. If you want a little more longevity, less work between recoats, and a richer looking finish, Cabot is going to take the crown. If you want a full deep dive in each of these products, I have solo reviews for both the Cabot and the SuperDeck coming up. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. And if you used either one, let me know in the comment section which one you liked and why. I do read every single comment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.